Hi everyone, today I want to share a really experience, my whole process of taking the California driver's license test. Part 1. Written test. A costly mistake. For the first written test, I made a huge blunder. My friend who accompanied me said it was fine to bring a phone into the test center. He had done it before, so I just believed that. Who'd have thought? During the test, my usually silent phone suddenly rang, just like that. My result got concealed, and each written test costs 45 bucks. I heard if a test gets concealed, the next 2 attempts are still valid. So I asked my friend. After getting a yes, I went to the DMV full of confidence the next day. But the staff said I had to pay and retest. Poof, there went my, $45. And part 2, written test 2, barely made it. Luck finally smiled on me the second time. I scrapped through the written test. There were 37 questions, and you can only get 6 wrong max. I just happened to get 6 wrong. Super close call. After passing the written test, I booked the road test. But guess what? A bigger change was waiting. Okay, road test 1. A silly pause. First road test. When the left turn green light came on, I somehow paused. I was checking the oncoming lane behind the left turn line. Totally distracted. Then I messed up the operation and just turned left into the opposite lane. I know the DMV test area has a row marks on the ground for going straight, left turn, and opposite lanes. But my mind was all over the place, so I didn't see the lines. I acted on wrong instincts and failed. Okay, then road test 2. A costly habit. I thought the second road test would be smooth. Nope, still messed up. I know the year 2 straight traffic ruler well. In daily driving, if straight going cars are far away, people usually turn. But in the road test, that's a huge no. Even if they are far, you wait till they pass. And the right-turning cars always have the right of way over straight going ones. This common sense habit made me fail the third road test. Back to square one. Retake the written test. I had to retake the written test. Looking back, this lesson's journey is full of surprise and setbacks. But I learned, follow test rulers. Don't blindly trust others' experience. For the road test, teach daily driving habits and stick to test standards. I still have to retake the written test, but after all these problems, I'm sure next time I will pass and get that California license. Okay, let me also share with you about my third attempt at the written test. Before this written test, I specially asked the front desk cleverly if I could bring my phone. I asked him, can I put my phone in the car first? She said there was no need to put it in the car and that putting it in my pocket was fine, as long as it didn't ring. So I finally learned the rules of the game. You can bring a phone during the exam, but it must not make any sound. Then I must vent about my magical experience of taking the third written test. Lessons, written test. It's like a drama full of twists. When I first took the written test, I played out the classic sense of forgetting essential documents. When I arrived at the DMV, I realized I hadn't brought my I-94, There was no choice but to rush home to get it. And the round trip drive took a full 30 minutes. When I finally got back out of breath, an even more outrageous thing happened. The DMV system crashed, and neither credit cards nor Apple Pay worked. But as Chinese are used to not carrying cash when going out, and they only accept cash and checks. So I had to go home again to get money. Just like that, in one short day, shuttle back and forth 3 times between the DMV and home, Crazy. Finally, after querying up again for the exam, this written test had, 36 or 7 questions, and I once again just barely passed. I got exactly 6 questions wrong, and if I had gotten 1 more wrong, I would have fired directly. When answering the last few questions, my palms were full of sweat, and my heart was pounding so hard it felt like it was in my throat. I still get scared thinking about it now. After the exam, I encountered a new situation. My sunglasses were missing. I searched through the car but couldn't find them, so I had to brace myself and go back to the DMV to ask the staff. Fortunately, the counter attendant was super kind and agreed to help me look, and she finally returned them to me. Along the way, the DMV staff has become my acquaintance. Even the security guard at the door remembers my figure coming to take the exam every week without fail. What's more amazing is that the examiner for my 3 road tests was actually the same person. There are 3 or 5 examiners in the DMV, and this probability is like winning the lottery. However, querying up has also become my nightmare. When I first entered the DMV, no one managed the query, but the second time I was asked to go outside and waiting a super long line again. I explained that I had just missed the number pickup time, but the other party insisted on the rulers. In the end, I relied on being familiar with the security guard to successfully cut in line indoors. It turns out that coming a few more times and getting familiar with the staff is still useful. After going through so much, I've completely given up. For the next road test, I plan to directly go to a Chinese community to find a driving school that guarantee passing. I really don't want to experience these dramatic moments again. By the way, My experience of getting a driver's license in China was even more outrageous.